Hi, and welcome to this short video where I'd like to respond to some of the feedback that you've helpfully provided me in this unit. The first thing that I wanted to talk about are the lecture slides. So many people have pointed out to me that I'm usually only 1 or 2 lectures ahead with providing the slides online in Moodle. The reason for that is that because of my high teaching workload this semester, I'm usually literally only a few days ahead of you in producing the lecture slides. But I understand that that's a concern for many of you, and many of you like to study many weeks in advance before the lecture. So what I'm going to do to address that concern is make all of the lecture slides available from last year in a special folder in Moodle. The content of those lecture slides from last year is exactly the same as the content on the lecture slides this year, and in fact many of the graphics and equations are as well. So what you can do, if you want to study many weeks in advance, you can download those lecture slides from last year and study them carefully. Again, the content is exactly the same as the lecture slides for this year. The second point that I wanted to talk about are the tutorials. So many people have pointed out to me that it's disappointing that there's only one tutorial problem to work on each week, and they would like more problems to work on. So what I'm going to do is give you more problems. So every week, starting from next week onwards, from week 6, there will be a core problem, the main problem for the week that everyone should attempt and that you can work through with the tutors in your scheduled tutorial session. In addition to that, there will be several challenging homework problems. These are problems for you to do outside the tutorial, by yourself, or even better, in a small group with your classmates. They're challenging problems, almost like extension problems. And if you do those problems, or you attempt them, bring your attempt and show it to the tutors will have work solutions, and they'll be able to help you out, show you if you've got the correct answer, and point you in the right direction. So just to recap, every week from now on there will be a core problem that you should attempt, and the solution to that core problem will be made available at 6 p.m. each Tuesday. There will be a series of extension challenging homework problems that you can attempt on your own time and with your classmates, and you can check with the tutors regarding your solutions on those ones. The third thing that I wanted to talk to you about is the scheduling of the class tests. So some people have pointed out that it was a bit tricky for them to work around the schedule for the class test because it was done outside the usual lecture slot. To give you some of the background on this, in this unit we used to run the class tests during one of the lecture slots. But this created some serious problems because students had to complete their test on the tiny little workspace that you have in a lecture theatre. And in fact many students complained about that, especially when we do the test relating to liquid-liquid extraction, when you do graphical solutions on a large piece of paper. So to try and fix that concern, we decided that we would only run the class tests in exam halls from there on. The problem though was that the exam halls were not available during any of the usual lecture slots for this unit this year. And so to be able to run the class tests in the exam halls, we had to schedule a time outside the usual lectures. Regarding the scheduling, it was all done from the beginning in Allocate. However, many of you couldn't see that because it was hidden in Allocate. The reason it was hidden is it was because it was an activity that you couldn't allocate yourself into. And so we decided that rather than confuse you, we would hide it within Allocate. So to address that concern, I've asked the faculty to unhide it, to make it visible in Allocate. So for class test 2 and 3, you should be able to see that in Allocate from now on. So, like I said, I'm really aiming to deliver a great unit this semester. I hope that you're enjoying it, and please keep the feedback coming in. Whatever you tell me, whatever your concerns are about the unit, I will do my best to address them.